My ex divorced me and now wants to be together again after 4 years. And the reason we divorced in the first place? His mom made out that I cheated. We'd been together since college, 20 years. She hated me from the beginning, thought I wasn't good enough for her son, that I was pulling him away from her, that I had some agenda she was going to expose eventually. We had countless fights over the years. She tried to wear white to our wedding, showed up outside our house uninvited more than once, sent gifts for our daughter that were really just excuses to make contact. He cut her off repeatedly. I thought it had finally worked. I thought we'd genuinely outlasted her. We'd had 16 good years, a daughter I love more than anything, a home I thought we'd grow old in. I let myself stop worrying about her, but she never actually went away, and eventually it worked. 4 years ago I came home from work and found him sitting on the couch with her. He was barely holding it together, red-eyed, shaking a little. She had proof. She said she'd seen me at a restaurant with another man, said she had photos, said she'd been worried about telling him for months but couldn't stay quiet anymore. I tried to explain. The man she saw me with was a colleague. We'd had a work lunch, that was it. But he didn't ask me questions. He didn't want to hear it. He just looked at me like I was a stranger and said he couldn't do this anymore. He packed a bag that night, moved back in with her. When our daughter got home, he'd already told her his version. She was 17. She didn't want to hear mine. She went with him. The divorce took a year to finalize. He got the house. I got visitation rights my daughter refused to use. I moved into a small apartment and started the process of figuring out how to exist in a life I hadn't planned for. I want to be honest about what those 4 years looked like. The first one was genuinely bad. I'm not going to soften it. I went to therapy twice a week. I cried in parking lots, in grocery stores, in the shower before I could pull myself together enough to go to work. I missed my daughter so badly that some mornings I couldn't get out of bed for the first hour. I'd drive past our old street without meaning to, like my body still thought I lived there. I'd see something she would have liked and reach for my phone before remembering. The second year I started to stabilize, made new friends, started actually enjoying things again. Year 3 I got a promotion at work. By year 4 I was genuinely okay. Not in a performance way, not in an I've convinced myself I'm fine way. Actually okay. I'd built something. It was smaller than what I had before, but it was mine and nobody could take it from me. Then, 2 weeks ago, my daughter called. First time in 4 years. I stared at her name on the screen for so long I almost missed the call. She told me that my ex had started seeing someone new. His mother found out and completely lost it. Said something like, I didn't tear apart your marriage so you could turn around and do this, out loud to his face. He kicked her out that same day. My daughter had been standing there when it happened. She heard the whole thing. She called me that night sobbing. She kept apologizing over and over, more times than I could count. I told her we could meet. She picked a restaurant. I said yes immediately. I walked in and my ex was sitting next to her at the table. Something she had not mentioned, something she had not asked me about. He stood up when he saw me. He said he'd ended things with his girlfriend. He said he missed me. He said he'd been thinking about it for months and wanted to try again. Said it like the 4 years were something that had just happened to us. Like the choice he made to believe his mother without asking me a single question, to end our marriage in one night, to take our daughter with him and watch her go silent on me, was just a thing that had happened to both of us equally, and we could move past it now that the truth was out. I picked up my bag and walked out. My daughter has been calling me nonstop ever since. She says I'm a jerk for leaving. She says her dad was trying and I didn't even give him a chance to talk. She wants us all to sit down together and work through it as a family. And I don't know how to explain to her that I'm not angry. I'm not even hurt in the way she thinks. I'm just sitting here looking at this man who had 4 years to wonder whether his mother might be lying. 4 years of knowing what she was capable of, knowing the history, knowing every single thing she had already tried. And he never once came back to ask me, not once. I love my daughter and I want her in my life more than I can say. She was 17 when this happened. She was a kid and she was lied to and I don't blame her for it. But I can't just walk back into a room because the truth finally came out. I walked out of that restaurant because I needed to think, and I'm still not done thinking. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with any of this.